Good morning. So glad you're here this morning. If you could put in the comments who's here. I'm wondering if it might be Mary. Oh, Yolanda. Bless you, Yolanda. I hope you're feeling better today. Really do have been thinking about you a lot. And we're blessed with someone else this morning who's joined us. So glad. So glad. If you could just say good morning in the comments and we'll build our community here for a few minutes and then we'll start right at 8. Yeah. Good morning to come together. Good morning to come together. Bless you for being here. Hope things are well at your homes. And we'll give folks a few more minutes to join us on this September 30th. I cannot believe it is the very end of September. It seems like that we're actually going to be talking about time for a little bit, but it seems that on the one hand, time has drug this year in 2020, and in other ways, it has just flown. So just so grateful that you all are here this morning. Would love to hear from you in the comments so we can engage and interact. Yeah, you might hear behind me some of the activity in the house this morning as my husband's getting ready for his work day. And our kitty cat, who's usually a little off the rails at this time in the morning, she likes to run around. She loves the activity in the house. We'll get started here in just a couple more minutes. Yeah, hope you have something hot to drink, something that nourishes your tummy and your soul. Yeah, got just a couple more minutes. We'll give folks some time to log on, to find us. Yeah, speaking of the kitty, she's right here in the window right over here to my left. Yeah, good morning, Jamie. So glad you're here. Bless you for being here. Bless you for being here. And yeah, we've got another more minute and we'll give folks some time to log on. And we'll get started. It may have been a late night for some folks. I don't know, with the debate last night. I reckon I had dinner late. Anyway, I wasn't paying that much attention to it. So yeah. So as you're logging in, I just invite you to sit comfortably, but also to sit straight because we will begin. It's 8 o'clock now. Good morning, Prince. I'm glad you're with us this morning. Bless you. And yes, indeed, praise God. So let's begin this morning by practicing the theme of our time together this morning, this God-given breath that comes in our nostrils and out, nourishing us, reminding us that the Spirit is as close as our own breathing. And we breathe in and then we breathe out. And we're joined together in our breathing, even if we aren't physically present with each other this morning. But it's a blessing to be gathered in this virtual space this morning. And oh, good morning, Patty and Randy. Every day is a good day. Every day is a good day. Good morning, Lynn. Um, so I think I mentioned to you last week, I had been reading, I've actually finished a book by Joan Chittister, who is a Benedictine, about the rule of Saint Benedict, about living the rule of Saint Benedict, which goes all the way back to the 5th century. Um, and about how the ordering of our lives can give rise to spiritual nurture and spiritual growth. And she tells a funny story in there. So I want to tell her story, but it might help you remember some of your own funny stories going back in your life. Um, it it brings to mind some of my own funny stories, some of which are going way back and some of which are actually quite recent. But she was a young novice in the monastery, and she was also going to college. And of course, you know, in the monastery, the days are indeed very, very ordered, you know, with set aside times for prayer and for gathered worship and for study. But even in the midst of all of the order in the monastery, the members of the community also have their own lives. And so Joan, the young Joan Chittister, was going to college, and she went to go see the prioress of her uh, of her house, and she said that she did not have time um, to. Yet she wanted to be excused from evening worship and from the curfew because she had a term paper to work on. And she says the prioress leaned back in her chair like this so she could look at her over her glasses. And she sighed and said, "My child, we have all the time given to us." I find I have to teach myself this lesson over and over again, or that life teaches me this lesson over and over again. And as Joan begins to talk about this, she talks about the need for balance, and that balance leads to harmony, which leads to peace. And I got to thinking about this balance piece because um, it's something that I have been working on whenever I do my you know, work evaluations that I turn into my district superintendent every year. You know, I always put that a growing edge for me is work, life, and spiritual balance. And I got to thinking about that. And I think that I've been approaching it um, in a way that's not really helpful because I've been thinking of balance as static. It's something that's achieved and something that you kind of hold, right? But really, when you think about it, balancing, it's like being on a wobble board, right? we, you know, some days our balance is one way, and we might wake up the next morning and maybe we've, you know, arisen at a different time. And we find then that our balance is then different that day. And something that I often slip into is that then I kind of beat myself up because I'm feeling out of balance when actually I'm on that wobble board achieving a new balance. And actually, I don't even want to use the word achieve anymore, but finding a new balance within myself between the tasks and the work that need to be done and the nurture I need to do for my own spirit. And then the things, that I do, with my husband and with family and the things, around the house and in the yard, those kinds of things. Um, and that the balance is different day in and day out. Um, and perhaps you find that finding balance is a challenge for you too. But I would just offer this morning that um, maybe we offer ourselves a little space and grace as we're wobbling on our balance boards, um, and offering ourselves space and grace and some compassion for our own selves in balancing the work that we do and our own spiritual nurture, and then relating with our families and with our friends. That in offering ourselves compassion, that actually maybe the wobbling uh, gets to where it feels a little more natural and can perhaps lead to a little more harmony, both within and without, and hopefully leading to peace, which we've talked about over the past couple of weeks. And so, in this balancing that we do every day, um, I want to remind you of a phrase that I've used over the last few weeks that I learned from another spiritual teacher from another tradition, is to approach life with a strong, firm back and a soft front. Um, the strong, firm back, which gives us stability in balancing day in, day out. But then that soft front, which allows us to offer ourselves to the world with an open heart, a heart that we often guard because we don't want it to be hurt. But an open heart is what allows us to truly relate to each other on a deeper level. And an open heart can also lead us to places of harmony and of peace. And so, as we approach the end of our time together, I would like for us to close off breathing together, breathing in grace, breathing out peace. We breathe in together, breathe out, and in, and out. Knowing that we are joined together by the power of the Spirit in ways that are too deep for words. So as you go through the rest of your day, may peace be with you. Please remember that you are a blessing. And for those of you who join us later today, I also wish you peace and want you to remember that you are a blessing. Until we meet again, take care.